How's it going, you lot? I've got a bit of a funny story for you. And every now and again I like to tell you little funny stories. Still going on, this situation. Let me give you a bit of a backstory before I show you what's going on. It's obviously, you gathered by the title, something to do with eBay. I use eBay every now and again. I look around on it because it's a good place to get some cheap stuff, you know. It's also a good place to just get rid of stuff if you've got to get rid of stuff. And you can get a lot of money for stuff if needs be. So, I had a little burner, a KL203, 203p amplifier. Well, exactly the same as the ones I showed in that video where I was telling you how to use an amplifier properly. But the ones I showed in the video were not mine, they were a friend's that I just had because I was repairing them for him. But the ones I had that I stuck on eBay were blown. I got them from a silent key sale some time ago and they just didn't work. Alright, the preamp worked but the other side didn't. So I was like, I would have quite happily given them away. If someone local had said, oh, I'm after a burner to repair, or just after a burner I can have a look at it, I would have said, look, I've got 203, you can have it. I'd have given it away, right? But I stuck it on eBay. Anyway, it was on for 7 days. It was on, it got to about £3.20, which is fine. Honestly, it does not matter how much they went for. As long as, I think I put about 14, what did I put? About £9 something postage, because obviously I had to go and buy the bubble wrap and everything. So the packing and postage, a lot of people don't understand. So as long as it didn't actually cost me money, I didn't mind. I would have given it away, as I kept explaining. Anyway, it got there, and what happened was I saw that it was going to sell, so I put it in a little cardboard box, and I'd ordered some bubble wrap, so I was waiting for the bubble wrap to turn up. The cardboard box, it was inside the cardboard box on the side of my bench, right? And I had a little bucket of diesel on the floor. Diesel and oil mixed together. Anyway, I was fanning around on the bench, must have knocked it off, didn't realise, went indoors, the night went along, come in there, the next evening, and the box was on the floor. And I thought, fuck, where's that burner gone? And I thought maybe it's flown off under the bench or something, so I'm looking everywhere, couldn't find this burner. And then I thought, fuck, if that's in that bucket of diesel, that's fucked. So, it can't see in the bucket of diesel because it's black. It's got a bit of oil mixed in with it. Because all I was going to do was just going to put it in the Land Rover. It'll burn that off, no trouble. Anyway, sure enough, it was in that bucket of diesel. I thought, fuck, I can't send that now, can I? Can't send that off now. What I'll do is I'll just cancel the listing and chuck the burner in the bin. Because it's soaked in oil and diesel for a whole night and a whole day. I thought, you know, it might be able to be saved, I don't know, but I didn't even bother opening it up. I've got to be honest, didn't even bother opening it up. I just thought, that's fucked now, threw it in the bin. I know it goes against some of my morals. I know I always say repair everything you can repair, don't throw stuff away, but that's soaked in oil and diesel. You know, I ain't got the time to play with it and fix it up. And I thought, I can't send that off to someone. I could have just said, this has happened and you still want it, but I didn't. I thought, nah, for £3.20, you know. So I looked at the highest bidder. It's a bloke in Australia. And I thought, they're quite laid back in Australia. So I cancelled the listing and sent him a message. I'm going to show you all the messages now, because this has just turned out to be hilarious. I mean, I've been cracking up. I was showing the missus. I was going, what is this bloke on? He must be on drugs. Some people go way over the top on the internet. You watch this, alright? So now you know the backstory. Let's look at the messages. Alright then, so the first message that I sent to him was, hello, I'm very sorry, but I have made a mistake and badly damaged this amp by knocking it off of the bench into a bucket of old diesel. It won't let me end the listing, it only let me sell it to you, so please accept my apologies. And it has sat in the bucket all night because I didn't realise it had fallen into it. The whole lot is scrap now, I'm afraid. Again, please accept my apologies. Alright, that's my first message I ever sent to this bloke, and he replied with, I hope this is the truth. If you wouldn't mind sending me some photos of the damaged unit so I don't have to contact eBay and lodge a complaint. Now the trouble was, oh hello, we're a bit zoomed in, but I'll leave it there. The trouble was that it was a Friday, and I just chucked it in the wheelie bin, and you know, Friday's a bin day, see? So they were gone. And this was the 2nd of February now, when he's sending me that message. He was asking for photos, and the 2nd of February is a Sunday now, and it was Friday night. So that's long gone, long gone. So, you know, I haven't got any pictures, so I sent back. I just simply sent back, I'm afraid you'll have to file a complaint because I've thrown it in the rubbish because I sure wouldn't want it after it's soaked in diesel all night long. And he replied with, hello Ben, I have reason to believe this is not the case, so please can you send me photos of item in bucket of diesel. I have done everything via the rules. You listed the item for parts or faulty. Wash it off with some methylated spirits or brake cleaner. I won the auction and I want my item. Bearing in mind this bloke's from Australia, and I always thought they were quite laid back, but they're obviously not, because he he sounds like an English person. Anyway, so I sent back, I have cancelled the listing and I did it as soon as I realised what had happened. It's pending according to eBay. Why you seem to be so annoyed I don't quite know, because it's only the internet. I could send you a different burner if you would like. I have one that was in a fire. It's a bit burnt, but it may be savable. Now, the one I was referring to, it was in a bit of a fire. Basically what happened was the person who had it didn't have any fuses in line whatsoever, and something went wrong somewhere, and the board for some reason just went up in smoke, and yeah, it's just completely burned. The whole board on it is all gone completely. It's in a box somewhere. I kept it because I was hoping, I thought the heatsink might be useful one day. Maybe I could put a new board inside the case, if you know what I mean. That's why I kept it. Anyway, I thought I could send him that maybe. So let's see what he replied with. Right, so then he replied with, I am annoyed when you have done this before with a person that won the auction and you cancelled that too. I'll contact eBay tomorrow via phone and make my complaint. I have bought radio equipment that's been wet from hurricanes and storm damage area. Diesel would have no effect unless you are stupid enough to turn it on afterwards. A good clean with brake cleaner would have cleaned it all off. The item shouldn't have been in an area it could get damaged when you're selling it. This bloke at this point is completely nuts, I reckon. I don't know what's the matter with him. Do you? So I replied with, I haven't cancelled a listing before. That one bad feedback was because the bloke changed his mind, so I cancelled it, and then he sent me a nasty message and left that feedback. I do find it strange people take the internet so seriously, especially over a little CB burner. And as for it being in that place, my radios are in the workshop. There is oil, petrol and loads of stuff around. Now, he's got a point, you know, it shouldn't be it, but you know, these things happen. It fell off the bench and went in there. I've got one bad feedback on eBay, and that's because I was selling something. What the bloody hell was I selling? I think it was a water pump. The bloke won it, and then he said, well, he didn't really, it was for pick-up only. I didn't want to post it because it was heavy. I thought, yeah, it was a water pump. And he said he didn't realise how far away it was. And then he said, and after he'd bought it, he said, can I deliver it? And I said, no, not really. You're bloody up in Manchester. So he said, oh, sorry, I don't want it. He was quite polite. So I said, all right, I cancelled the listing. Then I get a message from him on eBay, for eBay messaging, going, why have you cancelled the listing? I can't pay for it now. And I was like, but you didn't want it. And then he left feedback. Then he left feedback saying that I'd cancelled the listing because it sold for less than what I wanted, and I offered him whatever money, but I didn't offer him anything. After he'd left that feedback, I sent him a message saying, if you want to pay 50 quid, I'll deliver it to you, because 50 quid would have been an alright delivery charge, you know. But then he changed his feedback, so I offered him £50, but it all got messed up. But that's why I've got that one bad feedback where he says I cancelled the listing, and that's what this bloke here, this Australians, are going on about. Anyway, let's see what happened after that. And then he just sends me a copy and paste of whatever he sent. Hi, Lionel. Lionel? Is that even a name? The item is almost yours, completed, blah, 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 blah. And then he puts at the bottom, Your winning bid, £3.20. It's only because I cancelled the listing he won for that. Pay today to avoid unpaid item accounts against you. Sellers are almost likely to give positive feedback if you pay straight away. This is not cool, he says. Fix the issue you have caused. What's this bug on about? Making me chuckle like mad. So then I replied with, good afternoon. Please see attached photograph from the 1st to confirm your cancelled order. Best wishes. And then I just sent him a photograph of, you know, the fact that it's cancelled, because he seems to think it ain't cancelled, and he's still got to pay for it, but it's cancelled. And then he says after that, I would like to see eBay explain that. As for the CB amplifier, yes, I still want it. I did not agree. I went to make payment and wasn't able to follow through with the payment. In this day and age, everything is about what you can get for as cheap as you can get it. You took the risk selling it on eBay, and because you didn't get what you were hoping, you have made up a BS, which means bullshit, story about the item. When I asked for proof, you have not and refused to comply. It's simple, pull it out the trash, take some pictures and prove the case. I hope you have a full year of horrible things happen if you have lied to me. If you haven't, then I still hope karma bites you. What's he on about? Why would karma bite me if I've been truthful? These things happen. It's an accident. It fell off the bench, fell in the back of the bloody diesel. You know, I was trying to be nice to the bloke. Yeah, I probably could have just sent him a message and say, you're the highest bidder at the moment, but I've had a bit of an accident and it's fallen off and it's now covered in diesel. Do you still want it if you win it? Probably should have done that, but I didn't. I thought, right, let's just cut it off. Let's just throw it in the bin and get rid of it. And I just think it's completely unnecessary, you know. It's a little CB amplifier, and this bloke's in Australia. I'm sure you can buy them in Australia, I don't know. Anyway, for £3.20, which to him is probably about $2, you know, Australian dollars, these dollars out, isn't it? So, why he's kicking up such a fuss? He's obviously one of these people, you see him in shops, don't you? You know, if a shop assistant doesn't know where, so someone says, oh, do you know where the toothpaste is? And they go, oh, sorry, I don't quite know where that is. You get people go, well, you should know. You work here. You should know where it is. This is not satisfactory. I want to see your manager. You get them like that. I've seen them. I've seen them. And I've seen shop assistants go off crying, you know. This bloke is one of them. Guaranteed. Proper, I don't know what he is. He's nuts. Let's see what he said after that. So I said, haha, okay, well the bins have been taken now anyway. As for how much they were selling it for, it doesn't bother me because I didn't pay anything for them in the first place. They came from a silent key friend of mine. I was just selling off bits they had left to me because they're no use to me. It's not the fact that it was no use to me, it's more of a fact of, and the silent key wasn't really a friend, I just put that in, he weren't really a friend, it's just a silent key, bits and bobs came up and things like that. But it weren't that it was no use to me, I did intend maybe to give it a fix up, you know, try and repair it, but I just thought I'd let someone else play with it who wants to play with it. He'd get bargain, you know what it's like, I've done it myself. Someone that's got something that's broken and they can't bother to fix it, they just sell it off cheap. You get something that's broken, but if you can repair it, you've got yourself a bargain because it might be worth a lot more money or a good thing when you've repaired it. So that was my thinking. Let's see what he says. And he says he's given up with capital letters now. Look, he's got himself so wound up. He's just given up with all capital letters. As for the one you have offered me, I will take it. Remember, eBay will view all these comments. I doubt the trash men work on a Sunday. What is a butt frame on a Sunday there now? I think he means I doubt. I doubt. Oh, for God's sake. Here we go. Yeah, I think he means I doubt. And I think he means what's it about 3 a.m. 3 a.m. Oh, he must mean 3 p.m. I should imagine. On a Sunday there now. It was about 3 o'clock, yeah, when he sent that. Yeah. But as I tried to explain to him, it happened on a Friday evening, a Friday morning. So I threw them in the bin, and the bin men took them. Yeah, during that day. Tried to explain that to him, but he doesn't seem to understand it. So, anyway, so I sent. They went on Friday, which is bin day for us. They can see all the messages, nothing to hide here. Lol. I did the right thing, which was to cancel the listing and state as damaged stock as soon as I realised what had happened. So even if they don't like it, I still have a clean conscience. Which is true, I still have a clean conscience, because I did everything which I considered to be respectable and the right thing to do. And he hasn't yet replied to that last message that I sent. But I just think this is completely ludicrous. I mean, it's a bloody funny thing to be happening. Has anyone else had... I mean, you lot know I've had some funny encounters with people on Spock before. Because Spock is a weird one. You get some really bizarre people wanting to buy stuff from you on Spock. I've give up with Spock. I got rid of it because that was so strange and bizarre. That fish tank one was ridiculous. Turn out to buy a bloody fish tank, tell me to take all the fish out of it, and turn out and go, I don't want it. I don't want it. Huh? And this bloke here, it's not the fact, I can understand he might be a little bit annoyed, because maybe he was excited over this little KO203. I don't know. Oh, I'm going to get a KO20. I mean, I do get excited when I get stuff. But I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. I just think it's too much. It's a lot of fuss over a very small thing. By all means, I don't care whether you agree or if you're on his side or if you're on my side. Put something in the comments and we'll have a discussion. If you think I'm in the wrong by throwing it in the bin and just cancelling the listing, then by all means please tell me, because you know no one can be perfect, and I'm far from perfect. I am probably like that much perfect, like literally like nothing perfect whatsoever, apart from my big toe. I'm quite fond of my big toe. I reckon that's pretty perfect. But yeah, I thought I'd share that with you because I told a few of my friends. I went to the Canvey radio rally today. I told a few people there, and I showed them a few of their messages, and they were cracking up. They were like, this bloke is absolutely nuts. What's he on about? I mean, there's a good chance eBay will probably, I don't know what they'll do. They might go on his side of things, but as far as I'm concerned, I did everything. I don't know. I don't think I could have. I know I listed it as parts or for spares or repairs, 40, which means I probably could have sent it to him and got away with it, but it would have stunk of diesel and it was covered in it. I mean, you know what diesel and oil's like? It's like sticky and slimy, isn't it? I mean, and I could have told him about it. I probably could have done, but I thought the best option and just the easiest option is that he's completely had it now. Apart from the heatsink would have been good, because that's just heatsink, you know. But the board would have been completely. It would have been no good. I didn't even bother taking it apart. It would have soaked all that in. The resistors probably would have soaked it. I don't know really, but I just thought that's it. I can't send that off. I don't want the hassle of sending that off and then him filing a complaint or something and coming back and saying, oh, this ain't what it was described. It was described as just not working, not covered in bloody oil and diesel or whatever, you know. So for the sake of £3, I weren't bothered. I would have happily have given those away. I didn't have to sell them. He was implying that because it was only at £3.20 and I wanted more money is why I cancelled it, which is not true. Okay? If someone had said to me, or even if they just asked, can I have those burners? Yeah. There you go. I wouldn't have, you know, I wouldn't have posted them anywhere probably. But if a local friend just said, oh, can I have them 203s that are broken? Yep, have them. No problem. Well, there we go. Funny story for you. And I'm probably going to post this on a Sunday, today, on a Sunday. So, funny story for you to listen to on a Sunday. But I do encourage you to comment and give me your opinion on the situation. Was I in the wrong? Was I in the right? Are you on his side or my side? It'd be either side, I don't mind. This is why I'm sharing the story. If I didn't want your opinion, I wouldn't have shared it with you. Alright? So, I'll catch you on the next one, dudes. Take care, wouldn't you?